Good morning, students. I miss you guys in my classroom. For history class today, we're going to be starting a new unit. I'm really excited. We're going to be starting to talk about ancient Rome today. And I just want to start out by kind of showing you where Italy is going to be located on Google Maps. So if you have Google Maps, this might be something you might want to play around with and have some fun. But I just wanted to show you where the country of Italy is going to be located. Okay, so starting out right now, this is going to be Colorado Springs, where we're located. And I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me try to move you a little closer. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so this is where we're located in Colorado Springs. And we want to zoom out a little bit, okay? Okay, so this is the state of Colorado, right there. So Colorado is located right here. And Italy is going to be located in Europe. If you remember when we were talking about the different continents, Europe is going to be located across the Atlantic Ocean, right here, all the way over here in Europe. Okay, so this is the country of Italy, and it is going to be located in the Mediterranean Sea right here, off of Europe. So there is the country of Italy, and here is going to be the city of Rome. So let me zoom in on a little bit more on some Rome, so we can see some parts of that city. Okay, so Rome's going to be located right here. Okay, so there is the city of Rome, and we're going to begin to talk today about the very beginnings and kind of the very beginning or the start of the civilization of ancient Rome today. Okay, so now that you have a good kind of sense of where Rome is located, what we're going to do is we're going to transition into talking about how Rome really got started. So let me go to my slideshow right here. Okay, so if you have your copybook, in your copybook, I want you to write the foundations of Rome. Can you see that right there? Write that in your copybook. Okay, so here's another photo of Italy. So we see that we have the Tiber River right here. It's going to flow through part of Rome in the Vatican City. You're also going to have the islands of Sardinia and Sicily down here. And then the two seas that are going to really surround Italy are going to be the Adriatic Sea, located to the northwest of Italy, and the Tyrrhenian Sea, located to the southeast of the country of Italy. Okay. Also, in the northern part of Italy, you're going to have the Alp Mountains, the Alps, which are going to be located in the northern part of Greece, along with the Po River, which flows through the northern part of Italy. Okay? Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you in your copybook, I want you to draw a quick sketch of the country of Italy. I want you to have Rome. I want you to draw the little boot part. If you look at the country of Italy, you can see it's kind of shaped like a boot. Kind of like a big cowboy boot right here. Draw the island of Sicily, located to the southern part of Italy. And then draw the island of Sardinia as well. Draw some Alps mountains to the top of Italy. And then make sure you're also drawing the Tiber River that flows right here through the city-state, or the city of Rome, okay? So you might need to pause this video, kind of draw this in your sketchbook, or you might need to go on the internet and look up some more maps that kind of have to do with the country of Italy to get your good drawing. But what I want you to do now is pause this video and draw this in your copybook, okay? Okay, continuing on. So now that we know a little bit about kind of the geography and where Italy is located, what we want to learn a little bit more of is the topography. And topography really just means the surface. What does the surface of the earth kind of look like? I don't know if Miss Shevlin, she's talked with you in science about topography yet. But topography really just means kind of the outer layer or the crust of the earth. And Italy is going to be 40% of Italy is going to be mountainous terrain. So kind of similar to Greece, Italy is going to have a lot of different mountains in its countries. And the two main mountain ranges that Italy is going to have is the Alps Mountains up to the north, and it's called the Apennine Mountains that kind of go through the southern part and middle part of Italy as well. So one thing you need to know about the geography of Italy is it's very mountainous. Kind of similar to Colorado, we have our beautiful mountains here. Well, in Italy, they also have a large mountain ranges as well. Okay, so now that we know about our geography and our topography, I want to tell you kind of a legend or a myth. So our myth and our legend begins with two boys. Now, these two boys are called Romulus and Remus. I want you to write these two boys in your copybook, okay? Romulus and Remus. Romulus is spelled R-O-M-U-L-U-S, and Remus is spelled R-E-M-U-S, okay? Now, the story goes between Romulus and Remus is these two boys, they were just born and they had an uncle. And this uncle was not a very nice uncle. He was rather mean. In fact, he's going to try to kill Romulus and Remus. And to do that, according to this legend, he's going to throw them into the Tiber River. Okay? So this is before the city of Rome even existed. So this mean uncle, he's going to pick up these two young little kids, two young boys. He's going to throw them in the Tiber River to kind of get rid of them, to kind of end their life. Well, what happens is there's a mother wolf, according to this legend, and the mother wolf sees Romulus and Remus in that river, trying to stay alive. And that wolf goes in and pulls them out of the water. And what's going to happen is that mother wolf, she's going to raise those two boys as her own kind of like wolf pup. And Romulus and Remus are going to grow up, and they're going to kind of grow up from a wild side. So they're going to grow up, they don't really have a mom, they don't really have a dad, but it's really just this she-wolf that is taking care of these two kids. And eventually, these two kids, Romulus and Remus, they're going to establish the city of Rome. So that's kind of the legend, the myth that's been passed down from generation to generation about the establishment of Rome. These two young boys living out in the wild, kind of forsaken and forgotten by society. They're going to kind of make the city of Rome and place it kind of on the map. Okay, let me go back to my PowerPoint here. Okay, so eventually the city of Rome is going to grow and begin to develop. And they're going to say, how are we going to have a form of government? Who's going to rule in Rome? So we have the very first people who are going to be ruling in Rome, and we're going to call them the Etruscans. The Etruscans. Now, you don't need to necessarily remember the Etruscans for your test, but we just want to know that these Etruscans, or kings, are going to rule Rome in 1616 BC. Okay? Remember we talked about the timeline and the different dates of BC and AD, and BC meaning before Christ. Okay? So in 1616, Rome, the city of Rome in Italy, is going to be ruled by different kings. And it's really interesting. Historians, we really don't know much about these kings or what happened. We just know that these kings were in control of the city, and they were the only ones in charge there, okay? So that's the beginning of government, is ruled by kings in ancient Rome. Eventually, though, the people of Rome are going to say, we do not like being ruled by a king. We believe that the people should be able to kind of rule and make decisions for ourselves. Because having one person who's a king or a monarch who's all-powerful and strong is not really a good idea for our society. So what they're going to do is they're going to revolt and overthrow the last Etruscan kings of Rome. So they've revolted, and now they're like, we want to set up and form our own government, okay? We want to be ruled kind of by the people. So in ancient Greece, they set up a democracy. So I guess my question is, take a little bit of time and think, what is a Greek democracy? Okay? So think about that question. Okay, so don't look at this new slide yet. So if after you've thought about that Greek democracy and what it is, well, a Greek democracy is ruled by the people. Each person, each citizen in a Greek democracy could have one vote to kind of make decisions, okay? But in ancient Rome, they're going to establish a republic, okay? So Rome becomes a republic, and what they're going to do is they're going to elect officials to govern the state, okay? So in a republic, this is what's going to be different than a democracy. The people, they're going to say, hey, we're going to vote to elect a representative or someone to speak for us. So if we had a republic in our class, maybe we could break it up into rows. So we would have one person from each row. Let's just say the person sitting in the front. Your row decides, hey, we want the person who sits in the front row to kind of be our representative and to talk to Mr. K. Let's just say that. And they're going to choose that person in the front row to kind of make decisions and kind of decide what happens for the rest of the class. So that's kind of an example of a republic, okay? So Rome is going to establish this republic, which is kind of ruled by the people, but it's really ruled by the elected representatives, okay? So Rome's going to establish this kind of form of government called a republic, okay? So we're going to move on to our next slide. Okay. So as you have probably already read in your book from Monday, we're going to have two people that are going to form this republic. So it's kind of like a two-party system in this government. Okay. We're going to have the patricians. Okay. Now the patricians are going to be wealthy families that controlled society. Okay. So my question is, why do you think these patricians are going to be elected to get into the government? So if you need to look at that definition, wealthy families that controlled society, and think, why are they going to be elected into the Roman Republic? Okay, so these patricians are going to be elected because they're going to have a lot of wealth, okay? They're going to have a lot of money. And having a lot of wealth and a lot of money is going to enable them to kind of control people and control the government because of their wealth. So they're going to establish what we call the patronage system, okay? Now the patronage system provides financial, social, or legal support for lower ranking families. Okay? So what this patronage system is going to do, it's going to really kind of bribe the lower income families that are living in Rome, the ones that don't have all the wealth and all the money. What they're going to do is they're going to say, the rich families are going to say, hey, you know what? If you kind of vote to elect me as your representative, we'll pay you some money. We'll give you some land. And that way, we can kind of gain control, gain power in Rome. And that's going to be called the patronage system, where it's almost like a bribe, where they pay them money so that they can gain control of the Roman Republic. Okay? So we're going to move on to the next slide. Okay. And now the next group of people are going to be called the plebeians. Okay? Now the plebeians, they're just the common people. They're just like you and me. They're probably the teachers, they're probably the construction workers, you know, the middle income family people. They work hard, but they don't have a lot of wealth. They're not in a lot of power and control. They don't have a lot of say in society. So the patricians, they're going to be elected into this republic, and also the plebeians, or the common people, a few of them are going to be able to be in control of government. Eventually, though, the plebeians are going to challenge the patricians for power. They're going to say, hey, you know what? What you're doing is not fair. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you can control society. And these patricians are going to want to eventually take back some of this power from the plebeians. But right now, they're pretty powerless in this republic. So as you can see, the mixing of society, the wealthy and the poor, is going to really take place in the ancient Roman Republic, okay? And one thing I was going to do, be glad you weren't here, because what I was going to do is I was going to divide half the class into patricians, the wealthy, the rich, snobby kids, and then I was going to divide the other half into the plebeians, the poorer people who didn't have a lot of money. And what I was going to do to kind of show you how one half of the class had a lot more power than the other is I was going to have the plebeians write one sentence, and then I was going to have the patricians write 10. Right? I know, you say, Mr. K, that's not fair. And I was going to say, yes, you're right. Because some classes, people who have wealth, had more power in ancient republic. Okay? So you kind of get that example, right? Okay, good. Okay, so eventually, when people would come and vote for the republic, they would go to the forum, which is kind of like the marketplace or the agora, okay? But in ancient Rome, it's going to be called a forum. And eventually, the patricians, or no, the plebeians, are going to establish tribunes, which is going to gain the right to veto and ban laws that were unjust. So the patricians said, the plebeians said that, you know, we don't want to be ruled by the rich, okay? So we are going to gain the right to veto unjust laws that were established by the rich people, okay? Okay, so that kind of gives you a good comparison of the patricians and the plebeians and how the kind of Roman government, the republic, was ruled, okay? So that's going to be it for this PowerPoint right here. But what I want you to do now is we have a few more things, a few more notes to copy down into our copybook. Let me turn on the lights for you. Okay, perfect. So the very first thing that I want you to, or probably the second or third thing I want you to copy down into your notes is the definition of a republic. So write down republic, and a republic is a government that is not ruled by a king. So what I did is I shortened your notes. You don't have to write a lot. What I did is I wrote king, and then I drew a circle and crossed it out. So not ruled by a king, okay? So government not ruled by a king, and I also put elected. So they elected these people, the patricians or the plebeians, to represent the masses of people. Okay, so copy that down. If you need to pause the video because I'm going too fast, do that and continue to work. Our next one is going to be patricians. And the patricians are members of the ruling class or aristocracy of Rome, the wealthy people. Okay? And then our last one that we're going to copy down is our plebeians. Okay? Now, the plebeians are members of the Roman lower class, the common people. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to copy these things down, okay? And after you do that, that's all we have today for our history lesson. We are going to be talking Friday a little bit more about the Punic Wars, okay? A war that's going to take place between Rome and Africa and Carthage, okay? So now that we've got a good kind of foundation and know a little bit more about Rome, we're going to kind of leave there for today, and we'll pick up on Friday. Have a good day. Bye.